Let's move ahead and talk about expression and statement in JavaScript. So, just like in any other simple language which we speak on a daily basis, like English, we have a sentence, right? And the sentence can be also known as a statement. Just like I like to play football. Now, this entire chunk of words collection can be known as sentence or statement, and a certain words of this sentence can be known as expression, right? Now this is in context of English. Now let's try to understand the context of programming specifically. Now what is expression exactly? Now we can say expression is a certain unit of code that is usable to perform certain sort of action. So I prepared a code in my VS Code. I will let you know about this by writing some sort of code. Now let's talk about the types of expression. So the type of expression can be categorized mainly in three types. First one is arithmetic expression, second one is your string expression, and third one is your logical expression, wherein we essentially use your and, or, and this sign that essentially reverse the type. Right now, let's say we have this arithmetic expression. Arithmetic expression, as the name suggests, it's need to deal with numbers, and the string expression need to deal with strings. Logical expression, they need to deal with some sort of logic. If that statement essentially dealing with some sort of, I would say, a thing, then we can use logical expression right over there. Now let's talk about statements. Now statements are essentially, you can think of it a group of we can say statement that these are the group of expressions, right, which are joined together to perform some sort of action. So if you are familiar with functions, you can think of functions or a conditional statement as a statement in the term of JavaScript. Now let's go ahead and talk about the types of statements. The statements are broadly classified into three types. First one is your declaration statement, second one is your expression statement, and third one is your conditional statement. Now let's talk about them in the terms of code. So these are the code which I prepared for this thing. So first let's talk about the arithmetic expression, which we have right over here, right? Which we have right over here, arithmetic expression, which is an example of expressions. Yeah. So let's say we have 10, right? So 10 is, we know it's essentially a number in JavaScript. So here 10 is an expression that evaluates to a numeric value 10 by the JavaScript interpreter. Then we have 10 plus 13, that essentially another expression that is evaluate to produce the numeric value of 13, because we know if we plus them up, it essentially gives us 23 value. Now second one is we have is a string expression. Let's say we have this hello right over here, and when we merge these two strings, hello plus world, it evaluates to a string of hello world. Now let's talk about logical expressions. A logical expression, we can be using some sort of, now right over here we are comparing both of them. Let's say if is 10 is greater than 9, if it is, then it return as true. Yeah, so now it's evaluate to a boolean value of true right over here. Now if this statement or if this logic is I would say false, then it returns a boolean of false right over here. If we compile that up, it returns and evaluate this to a boolean value of true. And now over here, what it does, this one, it is essentially evaluates to true or false based on the values of a and b. So right over here, look at this, we have this a and b. Now we are essentially comparing, right, both of them. So now it's essentially evaluates to true or false, then it's give us the value on our output. Now let's talk about statements example. So right over here we use a declaration statement. So let's say we are using a var. Var is essentially a temporary temporary variable, you can say, that stores this sum, and then we make another variable of average. Yes, I make another it's a variable which is equals to, I would say, total, and I give them a value of 0. Right over here, these are both are undefined because I haven't defined a value to both of them. So these are them. So right over here, I assign 0 to total, so it's essentially giving us assignment expression. Cool. So now I essentially declare a statement, which is the main example of declaration statements, wherein I make this a function of greet. This function greet takes a parameter of message, and then we are console logging this message, right? So for those of you who don't know about, I would say, functions, a function can take parameter. So this is an example of declaration statement. And then the last one which we have is an expression statement. Now what is expression statements? So expression statements are essentially compares. So it's gonna compare your variable a to variable b. So wait, when we run this compiler, so I have my ESLint installed on my system, hence it's giving us me a warning. So right over here, it led to an error cause you cannot use the statement in the place of an expression, right? It's giving us an error because we can't use a statement in the place of an expression, right? So if I essentially use this var a and I do that with b is equals to 1, then what it does, since we are declaring b is equals to 1, then the assignment expression and is essentially an assignment expression and it's not a statement. This is a perfect applicable line of code, right? It's essentially the same. Now the last one which we have right now is we are console logging of variable a, but this is an incorrect way of passing an expression. We don't need to declare this variable right over here. Instead of that, we need to add a, right? This is the correct way. And if I show you why, it shows us that result is an error as you can pass only expression, right, as a function argument, right? That's the main point. I hope that you understand from this video something. And the last one which is left right now is, I guess, conditional statement, I think. Yeah, the conditional statement. Now conditional statements, essentially we're gonna conditionalize something with something, which is, let's say we're gonna be using if and else. So if and else is a topic for the next video. So that's all from this video, and I hope that you learned something cool from this video. If you did, just smash the like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.